How's it going, everybody? This is Matthew from Vaughn, or Vets of New York. I just wanted to make it aware, tomorrow is Veterans Day, so I hope that you are thanking the vets or anybody in the military who has gone overseas, or maybe not even gone overseas. Just thank every soldier that you see for helping us fight our way into freedom and to keep this way of life that we know about. They really deserve it. Regardless of your political situation or your beliefs, these people are hurting and they need help. They may not seem like they're physically hurting or mentally hurting. They may try to go about their daily lives normal, but this is affecting their daily lives and their family lives. So do everything that you can to thank these people and assist them if they need help. Thank you for watching, Vaughn. Enjoy the interview. All right, Mark. So, sir, you were in the military, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, where were you?
Stationed or?
Okay, I should probably re-ask that question, right? All right, what branch were you in?
Army.
You were in the Army, okay, and you got deployed, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. What was your rank while you were in?
I went from E2 to E4.
All right, so...
I have a second class to a specialist.
You got deployed. What year did you get deployed, and where did you go?
2010 to 2011. We went to Northern Providence, Kunduz of Afghanistan. For people who don't know, Providence is basically just a section we call that part of the country.
Yeah. When you came back, did you happen to know that you had anything that was sort of not the same as you were before, or anything that happened? Any thoughts or attitude changes or anything that came about, or did this?
Well, when I came back personally, I didn't notice anything other than the fact that I love to drink a lot more. It sounds weird, but everybody's like, they turn to alcohol as a substitute for not being over there. But
yeah,
because I was just didn't like anybody in general, I stayed in my room and drank. But attitude-wise and nightmares or anything else while I was still in, no, I didn't have any issues with that.
See, that was actually when I did a little bit of research on it, because I didn't want to come into this being completely ignorant. But they did say that a lot of symptoms were like flashbacks or nightmares, or I guess they would call it like a blank stare almost, like you would just be in like this bubble and you can't see what's going on. Did you happen to have any other symptoms like that, or no?
As of right now, occasionally I do get the whole blank stare thing. I do that. But I've been out of the military for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
Once I got out of the military is when everything kind of started hitting. Everything slowed down for me, so to say.
Oh,
My
really?
mind was able to think on its own, and that's what put me in danger.
So you're saying trying to adjust from the military life to the civilian life was a huge change, and it was difficult for you.
It was because, in the military, you used to waking up at 5:30 in the morning, do PT, and you had a whole set plan every day of the week. Mm-hmm. You get out of the military, it's do whatever you need to do or want to do, and 10 out of 10, what you want is not what you need.
Yeah. When did you first figure this out? Was it like did you happen to go to the doctors one day, or did your wife say something, or?
It actually happened when coming into the gate of our apartment complex we lived at.
Yeah.
I almost got hit by some dude in a car, and he was coming in too. And he got all mad at me, and I had my son in the back, little Marky.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot that he was in there, and I was just going irate on this guy. And after the whole thing happened and everything else, and nobody got hurt. But I ended up actually realizing, time to go get checked. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, I was able to look back on everything else that was happening in my life and started noticing that I didn't have that emotional connection towards my wife or kid or son. I was just in it because that's where I was before everything hit.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 years of marriage, and Marky's 3. I worked so hard for all that. I didn't want to lose it. So I had to get that emotional connection back, and yeah.
Yeah, so you went to seek help. It's a tough thing for somebody to notice that they don't start changing. They might lose their family and everything. And for somebody like you, since I know you very well, I know that's not something that you want. Nobody ever really wants that.
Well, nobody wants that, but I think you know me, I'm hard-headed. Getting help from someone in general is hard.
Yeah.
So first when I went in, and my therapist actually asked, so since you are diagnosed with PTSD now, how does that make you feel? I told him, to tell you the truth, I hate it. I feel like I'm a lowlife now. And he was like, well, why? Because now I need to seek help. I'm looking for help to help me get rid of the situation.
Yeah.
Never going to actually officially be gone. I'm on antidepressants and on other things, but I look at them as a crutch right now.
Yeah.
I had an outburst today. I was at the church helping them clean up, and some lady came out, and she gave me a slight attitude, and I was already kind of in an edgy mood.
Yeah.
So I woke up, and, well, the old me came out, and, oh, I'm going to call the cops, this and that. So, so nothing happened and escalated too much.
Yeah.
Got in the car and went home.
Yeah. So are you noticing these things happen faster? Like when you do end up getting into this old you mode that you said, you do notice that this is happening. Do you try to stop it, or do you notice it after the fact? Like,
actually, when the old me officially comes out, it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
I do notice it a little bit. It's getting easier and easier to notice it, but it's still being able to control it.
Yeah.
It was literally me and her out in the parking lot helping them clean up the church because we just moved.
Yeah.
And, there was really no way that I could avoid it. But at the time, I didn't see there was a way. She was in my area of working.
Yeah. Yeah. In normal circumstances, somebody might get a little upset at that, but because of that situation you have going on, it just escalates so quickly, right?
Yeah, I escalated it dramatically. I look back on it now and I'm like, man, lately I've been such a humble person.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that happened. Don't get me wrong. It felt good to finally let some anger out.
Yeah.
But it being towards a person who didn't mean anything.
Well, sometimes those situations that you go through, they will actually, they will actually humble you even more. So you know that you have an issue, you have a problem, and you are doing everything that you can to try to eliminate that. But when you do have those instances where the old you comes out and your disorder kicks in, and boom, it happens, after the fact, I guess I'm not going to speak for you, but I could see it as if it were to be for myself. An embarrassment would kick in, or something would be there and be like, crap, you got to be kidding me, not again. So that, I guess, in a sense, could be a way to be able to keep you humble, so that you know these things happen. And I guess the people who are around you at church, do they understand what's going on? These people know, or do you keep?
It was only me, the guy Jake, who's the lead minister guy, and Carlos, which helps out with some electronics there. They know my situation.
Yeah.
And they're actually the ones who said, nothing really happened, but just to be on the safe side and to make sure, go ahead and head home, take a breather, relax.
Yeah.
I'll call you a little later, see what's going on.
Oh, well, it's good that, you have somebody that's actually helping you out a little circle of family and friends.
Oh, what's nice is Jake's brother was in the Marines and he suffered from PTSD. Still does, but he's not, he's found his way. It's been a while for him.
Yeah.
So, in a nice sense, I have Jake to actually, he's got family involved with the situation. So, at least I know. I don't have to call Pops.
Yeah, they call him. Pops will be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, don't get me wrong. That's what I've been doing more is, I'm got to get a little more into praying and more into reading, but I've involved myself into the church, and I'm actually dedicated to doing that. It takes up some time for me, so that way, I'm busy. I'm doing something.
Yeah. So you basically found your niche into it. You did you go to like a talk to a doctor or a therapist or anything to figure this out, or how did that happen?
Actually, it's actually weird. When I first got my head checked, and got diagnosed with PTSD. At that time, I was going to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I got my head checked and everything, and you know me, like I said, I don't like people. I don't like talking to people.
Yeah.
That next weekend, I got asked if I wanted to be an usher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, being an usher, you have to talk to people.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what you are. Well, maybe it's a good thing. Get you out of that comfort.
I saw it as a sign of, hey, God's showing me another way to do. He's helping me out His own way too.
Yeah. Understandable.
I talk to a therapist once every 2 weeks, and my psychologist, which is the medical side of it.
Yeah.
About once every 3 months.
Yeah. And the combination with that is what's basically helping you along in this situation. With other people, it may be a different thing. There was several different therapies that I guess that I read up on. There was like there was helping people deal with the situation. Then there was the therapist part of it. And there was the medication. Then there was certain people may I don't know. You remember the video with Chris Kyle or whatever that was. The movie, correct?
American Sniper.
Yeah, you remember what he did to try to overcome it? He started
bringing others together and helping them with their issues, which in the long run helped him with his.
Exactly.
That's another prime example is actually one guy that was in my unit, Specialist Kohler, I think his name was. There was actually a segment on him on some news station.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but he went national with it and everything else, and his thing is he'd actually retired enough to where he can't work because of his issue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the thing is with him, he's actually gotten to he's taken himself off of the medication, and majority of his time he spends out with his family, hiking, camping, and everything else. His medication is basically what I wish I could do. Go out and camp and else.
Yeah, be a real, feel like a real man instead of being stuck inside a cage all the time.
Yeah, more of a...
Yeah, well, like you're trying to be. Look at you, you got this little No Shave November thing going on. See mine? Can you see it? It's like right here.
You got one hair, I think.
See that? I'm trying. No, I can really understand exactly where you're going. Statistically, they were saying that it's like 1 in 3 that go overseas will come over with a form of PTSD, either extreme or down and low. The majority of people are about right in between, and they said that out of those, only 40% will actually seek help. So in your situation, like you said, you didn't really know anything was going on. You had slight changes, but then that one instance is what changed the whole thing. And that's when you basically decided yourself to go. How has your family been helping you out? Like Veronica, your wife, and has anybody else from your family tried to help you out with this?
Well, I got you on one side of it, and then, I got my wife, Veronica. She does help out here and there. The hardest thing with her is, I'm now the stay-at-home father, and she's the working mother.
Yeah.
It was backwards for about 2.5 years. So, I mean, she comes home to a house that's my standard of cleaning, and, she has her little twerks, and it gets me irritated, but at the same time, I'm actually able to sit down and talk with her.
Yeah.
Tell her what's going on and everything else. The only problem is I'm hard-headed, and I actually don't talk to her that much. There's a lot of things like she'll randomly ask, well, what did you and the therapist talk about? And,
the same stuff.
The same stuff every week, every time. But in the long run, I've actually sat there and had a whole hour-long conversation with the woman.
Yeah.
With the therapist, trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten it figured out. It's just I've got to keep implementing it, like losing the emotion, love, all the affection and everything else. Easiest way to get that back, according to my old therapist, didn't fire him. He passed away.
Oh God.
But what he basically said was, if you don't have the affection, but you don't want to lose her or lose your family, is kind of force yourself into it.
Yeah.
If she puts something on and she actually looks good, tell her, hey, you look good. Actually compliment her.
Yeah.
Just randomly do it, but keep it going, and eventually all that love and affection will come back. And yeah, it's back.
Yeah, good. That's good, man. Hey, I like hearing that. I love hearing that. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I really appreciate everything that you have done for us. Seriously, I appreciate your service. And like I said before, if you have any family or friends or anybody that's also been in the military that I can't get a hold of, you thank them for me too. My family thanks them also. We are trying to start a series here at Vaughn. It's going to be do with post-traumatic stress. This is a big issue because it's kind of an invisible injury that happens to a lot of combat veterans. When you have combat veterans come back from war or come back from overseas, the statistics supposedly say that 1 in 3 of those combat veterans will have PTSD. And only about 40% of those people who do will actually seek help. They will notice that there's a problem, and they will seek out doctors or try to talk to somebody about it. So what we want to do, bring to light some of the ways that these people are dealing with these situations, how their day-to-day activities are. Well, how did they come to realize that they had PTSD? These things. What we're going to do is we're going to interview them. And we're going to try to let you guys see maybe slight little intricacies of their daily lives, of how they are handling this, how they came about to know, who's helping them, and maybe just how they themselves are dealing with this situation. I hope that everybody watches these videos, and we really do hope that you will pay attention and share these videos and like these videos and comment in the comment section below. If you do end up seeing this video and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. We will be doing this at least once every 2 weeks. We're going to try to do that. Try to donate to anybody that you possibly can to help out our veterans. Wounded Warrior Project. This other one is called Carry the Load. My brother told me about this. So find your local donation or charity for vets, and please do help out. They really deserve it.